Welcome, people. Welcome. Welcome. Hit the thumbs up.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Raw Boxing TV studio, your host, Ranger Matos.
I'm just trying to keep it raw on the mic, you know?
Welcome, people.
When I'm on the mic, I'll
share the
like
link.
A butterfly, sting like a bee, like the great Muhammad Ali. I mean, you need to realize I'm going to talk to you the way I want to talk to you. Facts over feelings, homie.
Welcome, people. To those that are here, thank you for taking the time to visit this live. I know it was a short one, unannounced, popped all of a sudden. I wasn't planning to do a live until tomorrow night. I'm still doing that live tomorrow night. I'm going to have two exciting guests joining the Raw Nation tomorrow. To the citizens of the Raw Nation, as you come in, remember to hit the thumbs up so the YouTube can start sending these notifications out. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just play it safe here for a few minutes. As what is up, Chicano Prophet? Thank you for being here, Fred. Thank you for being here. We'll go ahead and send. Wait a few minutes just to allow a few people to come in. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. Boxing. The beautiful sport of boxing. It was a good weekend of boxing. To some, it gave us happiness. To others, it gave sorrows. To some, it gave sleepless nights. But nevertheless, to us all, it has given us some. The hater rate for a few fighters is being sold not by the jug, but by the gallons. Haterade by the gallons at the 99-cent store with a 50% discount. If you're a hater, go get your gallon. Because there's a lot of people not happy right now. A whole lot of people not even happy. Y'all crying just a little too much. Just a little too much. It's like y'all need a little bit of milk, you know? Y'all need some milk. What kind of milk? Breast milk. Oh, boxing. A-Rod, welcome, my friend. Welcome. We're going to have a short little section here, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll just allow a few more minutes for a few more people to come in. I'd like to remind you to hit the thumbs up as you come in. Chicano Prophet. Oh, yeah, the haters are... That's right. That's right. But you know what? We're going to have a little bit of fun because although I was going to save it for tomorrow, I got to relieve a little bit today. It's like when you're excited about something and you just can't keep it in. You just can't keep it in. That's me right now. You saw it. That's right, brother. I saw it at the 99-cent store. 99-cent store. Guido Peon. Welcome, my friend. Dímelo Raw Boxing. Saludos a ti, my friend. Welcome. There's a lot of people crying, needing a little bit of milk from mama. What kind of milk, I said? Breast milk. To give them a little nutrients. Maybe the nutrients can help them deal with the haterade. How many of you had fun watching last night's card? Talk to me. Today we're going to engage. Share this link on Twitter, your mama's Facebook, your sister's Facebook, your wife's Facebook. Make your neighbor watch it. I don't care. I do not care because today we're not evil at the Raw Boxing Nation. Today we're going to try to soothe the hater by giving them, for one last time, a little bit of... You got it. That's right. They keep hating on Canelo Alvarez. Let's go ahead and start. I know some of you have your own shows tonight. I at least appreciate you guys coming to hit the jab up and capping out. Like I said, this was not supposed to happen, but I think for the 1, 2, 3, or 4 of you that are here, A-Rod, 83 book sale. Soon as the fight ended, I see the haters mob scheduled to the week on. Yo, for sure. I'm already hearing people even talking about the fight being rigged. Canelo didn't win that fight. That fight was rigged. That fight was rigged. There was no way Callum Smith lost that fight in the fashion in which he did. 80% of what I told you on the breakdown happened last night. Like I said in my video from last night, with the exception of the fact that Callum Smith did a whole lot less than I thought, and Canelo did a lot more than I thought. But Canelo was very smart. Remember what I talked to you guys about on that breakdown video? The dipping, the bobbing, the weaving, right? And not coming back with a barrage of combination. He done it last night, but except that from time to time, he will come back with maybe 1 punch, 2 punch, because that's all he needed. In front of him, he had an opponent that really and truly came to test the waters, and he didn't like what he seen, and he did not like what he felt in the first round. I'm going to go ahead off the bat and tell you guys, maybe my card is very unpopular, okay? But I had it a complete shut off. Not a single round to Callum Smith. I know the judges might have given him a few. Some people gave him the first round. Understand that when I'm looking at a fight like that, I'm looking at not just a study round. I'm looking at a fighter that is not only studying, but he's at least interested on that first round. Give me solid jabs, accurate jabs. Do a little more. If you throw a few fake jabs and they're landing on Canelo's guard, and Canelo just shoots 5 punches or 3 punches and lands 2 with intentions and solid to the body, then that's the man that's taking it for me, you know? So the chat's getting lit here. I'm liking that. Last night was a great night of boxing. That is right. For us, the true boxing fans, for us, the Raw Nation's citizens, for us, the people that are willing to speak the truth without being fanboys of a specific fighter, for us, the people that have clear vision on the sport of boxing, for us, that religiously, when a fight takes place, we're there to watch it. For us, that we don't just watch boxing when we see highlights on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook. Okay? But to those that are not willing to be honest with themselves, it wasn't a good night of boxing. It was horrible, like I said. So let's go ahead and get into it. Chicano Prophet, the haters crying afterwards was just a bonus for me to enjoy. Man, let me tell you something. You guys have, well, I don't know if Chicano Prophet has known me, but I know a few of you have known me for years, okay? I've been doing this YouTube stuff since 2008, early 2008. And then obviously I took that 6 to 7 year break. Let me get a little bit of tea so I can get the vocal cords lubricated. And let me tell you something. You all know I ain't no Canelo fanboy, but what I am is a boxing fanboy. I am a fanboy of boxing, the sport. And as a fanboy of boxing, you have to be, first of all, honest with yourself before getting in front of this camera, in front of this mic. You have to be honest first with yourself, so that when you're honest with yourself, you can share that honesty with the people that are taking their time to sit in front of the computer or in front of the phones and watch you speak, right? And so for many years, I faced that Canelo Alvarez fanboy club, and they thought I was a Canelo hater. They never contextualized what I was saying about the kid. They never put it in the right context. They never looked at it through the eye of boxing, right? Because 6, 7 years ago, you cannot tell me, being an honest boxing fan, that 6 or 7 years ago, Canelo is as good as he is today. 6 or 7 years ago, you cannot tell me that Canelo was as great as he is today. You cannot, as much as you try, you cannot. So back then, I used to tell you guys, no, he's not great. He's just a very good fighter. What's up, DK9? Thank you for being here, brother. You cannot tell me that 6 or 7 years ago I was wrong when I was speaking about Canelo. But as a boxing fanboy, which is what I like to consider myself, as a boxing fanboy, you start to notice the growth, the evolution of a fighter. And through the roads of evolution of a fighter, you see ups and downs, you see flat lines, you see ups, you see downs. And the one thing you got to do is first be very, very honest with yourself. Again, I say that, right? And so Canelo, throughout the past years, has slowly but surely been climbing up the ladder. There was a few hiccups there. He probably stopped at one of the stair flies and just took a break there. And then he continued. And maybe he slipped, but then continue, right? But the fact of the matter is, look at my lovely wife. Hey, you. What's up, girl? The fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, the kid never gave up. He kept climbing to the point that now he is in the top. Why is he in the top? Because he is simultaneously the man at two weight divisions. Nobody can dispute that, people. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you want to hate on the kid. Because at the end of the day, the kid is shutting mouths. It was beautiful the way he broke the fight down last night. You know, Canelo last night, when I seen him on that first round, he wanted to give Smith a little bit of an entrance. Kind of like invite him. Let me see what you got. Throw me that jab. I really want to see your speed. I want to see when I feint what your reaction time is. I want to see that. I want to see when I feint and I take steps closer to you by inches. I want to see what your reaction is if you even notice that I'm closing the gap. Because see, I don't know if you guys have seen a domestic cat hunting, right? A domestic cat will go low, but the tail will go up. And he'll start moving the tail. Why? Why is he moving that tail? Because the prey is going to be looking at the tail without noticing that the predator on the bottom is closely, inch by inch, getting closer to him. Last night, Canelo was the domestic cat in this fight. Because with the upper body movements, with the feints, he kept Callum Smith a little entertained without noticing that the feet were inch by inch getting close. Inch by inch getting close. And Canelo, as I said in my breakdown, needed to keep that fight at the mid-range or in the shorter guy with the shorter arms to put work to the body, where the longer guy could not extract his arms short enough to deliver fast punches, powerful punches, or even comfortable punches. Callum Smith did not like what was going on last night. Callum Smith realized that, okay, I'm in here. I saw what the kid had. He took that huge overhand right to the left arm last night on the second round. And that was it. That people don't realize what happened in this fight. People just was mesmerized on the round by round development on this fight. No, this fight was over in the second round. In the second round, this fight was over. See, you got to be watching the fight. You got to be watching reactions of the fighter when they're getting hit. You got to be watching the body movement. You got to be watching when that bomb was landing, how the facial reaction of Callum Smith. Last night, second round, that arm was gone. That arm was gone. A-Rod 83 book sale. It says, that's one thing. That's one thing. Notice Canelo does it when he knows he can take a punch from you. He'll look bad getting hit, but usually that's when he sets them up and gets, yeah, correct. But it's like I'm saying, see, there's a lot of fighters, they don't realize that. There's a lot of boxing fans, they don't realize that. I'm glad you touched on that, A-Rod. Don't let me forget about what you just said. I'm gonna talk about that second round and then come back to this. So don't let me, by any chance, if you see that I keep going and I don't even come back to this, hey, get my attention. You know, let's talk about that, what I talked about. Second round, Canelo lands that overhand right to Callum Smith left arm. And you can see the reaction in his face. You could tell something wasn't right. Because after that, guess what? That jab came out of Callum Smith throughout the entire fight without speed, without snap, without power. Am I wrong? No, I'm not. I'm not wrong. Last night, Canelo Alvarez finished the fight in the second round. And you notice what was going on with that arm at the end of the fight, right? That did not happen at the end of the fight. The real damage to that arm happened in the second round. So in other words, Canelo Alvarez just took the key that opens every door in your house, the jab, away from his taller opponent that could use that key to keep him mid or long range. Very smart. Listen to Eddie Reynoso. Listen to Eddie Reynoso when Canelo goes and sits down in the very first round. Eddie Reynoso tells him, mijo, or actually, let me get in my English speaking mind. Son, I want you to calm down. This is an easy fight. Remember to always shoot at the shoulders. Get him at the arm. Be careful when you're shooting at the arm, the way your body's positioned, because he can pull hook to the body and get you out. See, they were thinking about the Groves fight with that dangerous hook to the solar plex. See, and Reynoso tells him that. Canelo goes out there and executes, and the arm is gone. It worked perfect. You might try it 99 times out of 100, and you might fail 99 times. But last night, it just worked. It just worked. And you cannot be fanboying out here talking about, oh, yeah, Canelo. No, if you don't know boxing, I'm glad you like Canelo, but boxing, from a boxing standpoint, the kid is getting greater. The kid has reached greatness. He has grabbed greatness. Now he needs to maintain greatness. Let's go back to A-Rod. I don't want to. Let's see. Canelo's jab was hitting the mark. Oh, for sure. You know why Canelo's jab was hitting the mark so well? Because after that second round, you had a Callum Smith that was there to survive. And so because now Canelo realizes that his opponent is not offering much, now Canelo has the opportunity to move in closer to that mid-range, to that short range where he is lethal. And even at the long range, now he had an opponent that was possibly in pain, regardless of the adrenaline. So that opponent was leaning in a little more. And so Canelo, obviously, every fighter knows what their distance is. If they're great, if they're very good, they know their distance. They can visualize, okay, if I shoot the jab, if I execute hip and shoulder extension, I can literally reach my opponent. If I know that, I know for a fact Canelo knows that. And so that's what we saw last night. Last night you saw a kid, well, a man, because he's 30 years old. You saw a man that was able to study for the test. He went into the classroom. The teacher put the test on the table. And by the time the teacher was being done, giving the test to the entire classroom, he was like, yo, I'm done. Yeah, I'm done. And the teacher just told him, well, it's just 2 minutes into the test. You still got 10 minutes. No, I'm done. So the teacher just told him, okay, hang on to the test and just twiddle your thumb or have fun for the next 10 minutes. That's what Canelo did. For the next 10 minutes, he went to study his opponent even more. Let me see what I can do. It's my court now. It's my court now. Callum Smith was not doing anything. At that point, Canelo realizes that, and so he starts experimenting, shooting the jab, landing with mean intention. I'm pretty sure you guys could hear that jab. I'm pretty sure you guys could hear it, and I'm pretty sure everybody that was there could hear that jab. Well, wait a minute. I landed a jab. Let me see what I can do now with a right feint and a left hook to the body or a left uppercut. Bam, landing. Well, wait a minute. Let me keep punishing that arm. How many times did you guys saw that overhand right land on the left bicep? How many times? Because that was a playground for Canelo. Go back and look at the fight. That was literally a playground for Canelo. You know what was interesting? That I was pretty sure last night, after I saw that, after I saw the entire fight, I'm pretty sure that last night, for a solid moment, while the haters were looking for some sort of excuse to come up with, I guarantee you, if you were in front of them, the only thing you would hear would be crickets. Just you know that last night, about 30 minutes after the fight ended, there was actually a YouTube channel, which name I'm going to not even mention because it's not worth even mentioning, that said, track with me. Let's use common sense on this. Let's reason. And you tell me if this makes sense. This man actually had the audacity of saying, well, Canelo Alvarez, Eddie Hearn, and Callum Smith, they all rigged this fight. Keep in mind, Eddie Hearn takes his champion, not Canelo, his very champion, the guy that's giving him money in Europe, and tells him, listen, I know you're undefeated and you're going up against a fighter that's not even mine, a fighter that pretty much it's over with after this fight, after tonight. I want you to go ahead and give him the victory. Yeah, I know you're my champion. I know you're the man at 168. I know that you're the super champion. You're the winner of the tournament. I know all of that. I know that. But I still, because you're my fighter, you're my undefeated fighter, I still want you to lose to Canelo. How the hell does that make sense? How in the hell does that make sense? See, that's what happens in a confused mind that saw the fight start and went like, yeah, this big boy is going to take Canelo to school. And then as the fight progressed, wait a minute. Well, this is not supposed to be happening. This is not. No, they must have sold that fight. That fight had to be rigged. That fight had to be rigged. Gallagher also said that Canelo broke Smith's nose in the ninth. It was a methodical breakdown. See, I didn't know that. Thanks for sharing that, Chicano Prophet. I only knew of the second arm because, first of all, last night I was tired, but I did saw that second round. I did saw the development of the fight, but I didn't realize what happened when it comes to that nose. Peon, it says here, Canelo Alvarez was hitting Smith with that uppercut. It was open all night. It was because you had a stiff fighter that was in pain from the second round. You had a stiff fighter that was not willing to open up because now he is in survival mode. You had a stiff fighter that felt the power of his opponent, the unexpected power of his opponent. And all of a sudden now he's like, ugh, let me try to survive here. Oh, I can't shoot that jab because every time I shoot that jab, it's a sharp pain coming up and down my bicep. And that's what was going on last night. That's exactly what was going on last night. So Canelo was in control of the whole fight. Yeah. A fool was in control of the fight, in control. Okay, so first of all, before we go on, let's talk about whoever was the person doing the images and the Michael Buffer and all that stuff. What the hell happened there? You had a virtual Michael Buffer, while at the same time in the ring, you had that dude with the big old beard and the big old dreads. What in the world are they doing? And then when Castro fought his opponent, and then when Ford fought his opponent, every time they would put the pictures up there, so Raymond Ford was there with the picture of Castro's opponent, and then Castro's opponent was there with the picture of Raymond Ford's opponent. Last night was all messed up for DAZN. I swear it was. It was a mess. Whoever was in control of all of that, they need to hire me. I don't even know nothing, but I know better than to make those silly mistakes. I could tell if I put a picture of you next to your face, I can tell that that's you. I can tell that is you. I heard the same theories last night. I couldn't help but to, of course, man. But see, this is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean. These are fans that are emotionally attached to a specific fighter. Last night, you didn't only have Canelo fanboys watching. Last night, you had Canelo fans, regular fans, boxing fans, right? You had Smith's fan. You had Charlo fans. You had Berlanga fans. You had Benavides fans. You had Plant fans. You had Gennady Golovkin's fans. Oscar De La Hoya was probably watching the fight last night, right? So you cannot expect to hear good things out of Canelo when you have a small percentage, which is his fans or boxing fans, and then you have a huge percentage that are emotionally attached to another fighter who can potentially be a future opponent of Canelo Alvarez. You cannot expect him to have anything good to say about it. You can always expect him to say, well, it was a rigged fight. It was a rigged fight. Well, well, he's not great because he hasn't fought the Charlo brothers. He's not great because he hasn't fought Benavidez, which, I can kind of tell. I can by some small percentage, I can agree. The anticipation to. I'm also curious. I want to know what happens on that fight if it happens. I want to know. Just a minute here. I want to know what happens in that fight if it comes to play. I think it'd be a very interesting fight. Canelo Alvarez and Benavidez. Somebody got to go to sleep in that fight. That fight cannot go to distance. I'm sorry. So with all that being said, because I don't want to say a lot, I want to reserve a lot for tomorrow's show. Like I said, I just had to decompress a little bit today with you guys, and I appreciate whoever's here. Let's go into Castro. Not bad for a debut, a co-main event, professional debut from Castro, a fighter who actually beat Raymond Ford twice. And when you look at them both last night, it's hard to believe that a fighter like Castro beat Raymond Ford twice in the amateurs. But I can kind of understand, because I can only imagine you being a guy that's been trying to have a professional debut. It has failed 4 consecutive times due to disease, sickness, the pandemic, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, the night is here. You're expecting to go up there first when there's almost nobody watching. And then the promoter comes in and it's like, hey, by the way, I'm going to have you out there as a co-main event of the night. The nerves got the better of him. He started getting a little loose after that knockdown. And then he put on the work and did what he had to do. He finished a guy that had never been finished. We can only expect better things from Castro. We need to allow him to develop as a fighter, develop the confidence. Last night, you could tell there was the pressure of having a professional debut as a co-main event. That pressure got to him, but nevertheless, he was able to weather that little psychological storm and come out with an impressive victory. So let's give it a little time to cook. Raymond Ford. If Raymond Ford continues in the way he is fighting, if Raymond Ford can somehow sit a little more in his punches, see, speed kills. And when you add a little bit of power to speed, you don't need much, because speed itself can come when you least expect it, and therefore you're not prepared. So when you feel the impact, it's too late. Your legs are shaky. Your legs is shaky. And so with that being said, Raymond Ford, let me see here before I move on. Let's see. LWC fanboys are now saying Errol Spence going to knock out Canelo. Yeah, right. I wish I was a betting man. I don't bet. I don't gamble. Not even $1. I work too hard to make my money. But if I was, I'd probably sell everything I have to put on that fight in favor of Canelo, because although that I think Errol Spence is an excellent, exquisite boxer, when you see Errol Spence, you see nothing but skills. There is that one factor of Canelo saying, I'm not going to feel your power. Therefore, I'm going to bite down on my mouthpiece. I'm going to truck forward to you. And even if you're blocking, I'm going to break your arms. I'm going to break you for 6 rounds. And once I get your hands dropping for 6 rounds, then I'm coming over you. There's a size difference. Canelo has already felt the power of Gennady Golovkin's. He has already faced the power of the 175-pounder Kovalev. He has already faced the power of people that are so much bigger than Errol Spence can be, that at the end of the day, guys, there's a reality. And if you choose not to lie to yourself, then The minute you make that choice, you automatically remove yourself from the haters club. Mr. Stallone 503. What's up, man? One of my OG subscribers. Dude's been with me forever. Acuba, ¿qué pasa, brother? What's up, my homie? I'm glad you're here. We're just doing a little bit of boxing talk today. Tomorrow, guys, 7:30 to 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to have 2 guests on the show. We're going to go more into depth. We're going to have probably about an hour and a half worth of show. And that's when we really, all 3 of us, we're going to go in deep details of everything we saw, of potential fights that we want to see. We are going to need the collaborations of you guys, the Raw Nation citizens, in the chat, giving us your ideas, agreeing with us or not agreeing with us, giving us your thoughts. Well, wait a minute, Ranger. I don't think I agree with what you just said. Okay, well, let me see what about I just said you don't agree with. Because although without me being cocky, I think I'm very good at what I do. At the end of the day, it is people like you guys that make a brother like me great and continue to get better. Continue to get better. That's just the reality. A-Rod, no te olvides del comentario anterior. Don't forget. Oh, that's right. See? Let's go back to that comment that we needed to address. Here it is. That's one thing I noticed Canelo does is when he knows he can take a punch from you, he'll look okay. So this is one thing that I have talked, not in YouTube, because some of you knew that I was away for like 6 years, but in private conversations with my brothers-in-law's father, who's a boxing head. If I do start a YouTube channel, he's going to be, a YouTube Spanish boxing channel. He's going to be a co-host for sure because he has a lot of knowledge. But I used to tell him one of the advantages that Canelo has is the fact that he is literally a tractor. Okay. So what happens when you have a fighter that is a tractor that can come forward, take punishment without being very affected, but at the same time has boxing IQ, has speed, has defense, and can deliver knockouts? You have a fighter that is virtually almost at this point where we're at, almost impossible to stop. Almost. I'm not saying Canelo is impossible to stop him. I'm saying he's almost impossible. How many fighters can you name me right now in the comment section? Right now, if you're truly honest with yourself, forget all the fanboying, forget no. Right now, how many fighters right now can you tell me will go in there from 168 pounds down to 160 pounds and just completely dismantle Canelo? How many? Name me one. I'm going to wait. Name me one. One. That's it. There's none, right? Crickets. That's all. There isn't one. The only one that can kind of tickle your curiosity and you'll say, maybe Benavidez can cause some damage. I know you guys agree with that. I know that at the end of the day, the haterade is not going to stop. Let's see. Callum Smith versus Ryder was a good indicator that Callum Smith would have trouble with Canelo. Yes and no, because you also have to understand one thing. How many fighters have a bad night, come back the very next fight and bounce back? We've seen great champions have bad nights. We've seen Floyd Mayweather have several bad nights, but then he comes back in rematches and just completely dismantles the very people that gave him a very bad night. We've seen it. You remember Erislandy Lara versus Angulo. Erislandy Lara went down a couple times in that fight. He was having a bad night. Angulo was cutting the ring really good. Lara wasn't able to move freely around the ring, but he overcame within that night. So yes, it could have been a good indicator, and as an opponent, you can use that for your advantage, and you can read a lot of that book, but it doesn't always work like that in boxing, and that's why I love boxing. Yeah, like I said, it could be, but it's just there's always that one balance, I right now, like I said, Canelo is not the guy he was 6, 7 years ago. It's time to give the kid the props. It's time to give the kid or the man um, credit when credit is due. And I honestly think that a lot of these fights we want to see are not happening, mainly because of promotional companies, promotional indifferences. And as I said, now that I'm a free agent, you guys are going to start getting the fights you guys want to see because I don't have a promoter coming in the way of what I want to do and what the people want. And you know how he's kind of telling the truth is because listen to the interview with Earl Spence. Now, everybody's saying that he's ducking Crawford and Crawford's ducking Spence, blah, 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 blah. But look at what Earl Spence said last night. He said the fight couldn't happen if, Al just got to sit down and talk about it. And Bob just needs to sit down and stop lying. What does that tell you? That maybe that fight is not happening, not because the fighters don't want to fight each other, because every fighter at that level is looking for greatness. Every fighter at that level is looking for the bag, right? Maybe the fight's just not happening because promoters are greedy, because promoters have a pride, a chip on their shoulder, because promoters want to run the show, because promoters don't have the best interest of the fighter at hand. They have the best interest of their company's pockets at hand. So let's give some time. Like I said on my breakdown video, if Canelo for the next 3 or 4 fights does not give us the big fights, then we can start asking the tough questions and possibly shooting the tough comments. But he said, hey, listen, I'm free. I'm going to fight top guys now. And he came back after 13 months and fought the number 1 guy. Let's wait and see what happens here. A-Rod says, Benavidez has the hand movement, but doesn't move upper body much. To be for sure, he'll take out a guy like Canelo. I see him having a good chance with Plant. Yes. Benavidez, the only thing we need to see with Benavidez is Benavidez hasn't been really tested. Benavidez is an excellent fighter, in my opinion, and has the power and has decent boxing skills to put up a good fight. But I just want to see what happens the first 3 rounds against the Canelo. If he can weather that storm, if he can put up a good fight in the first 3 rounds, it's going to be interesting to see what Canelo's reaction is, because we have to sit here and think that Benavidez has hell of a power. Again, like I said in my breakdown video, is all these powers enough to gain Canelo's respect? Because we've seen the guy, I'll get to the next comments here in a minute. We've seen the guy get hit with, so he was 160 pounds. And in both fights with Gennady Golovkin, he got hit with shots. They have completely cut the lights off other good fighters. Not once, not twice, not 3 times, several times throughout the fight. And it wasn't like he got hit and got a little rocked and came back. No, it was as if he didn't get hit. He would get hit and be like, all right, I'm coming forward. So that's when you start seeing, dang, this kid could take a punch, right? This kid can take a punch. So then you bring a guy like Benavidez and you have to then sit and say, well, he went against Kovalev, even though Kovalev, whatever the case might be, some people say that, he was too old. But yeah, he was old, but he was the number 1 in his division. So, I mean, we have to balance the argument there. We have to be honest to ourselves. He was old, but at the same time, the old man was still the number 1 in his division. He took those punches. Didn't phase him. The fight was competitive, but didn't phase him. So can Benavidez land enough damage to keep him away? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure Caleb Plant cannot take Benavidez punches. Caleb Plant has not been tested. Yes, I don't want to make this video about him. He has very good boxing skills. Decent average power. That chin ain't being tapped by a guy like Benavidez yet. But remember, A fight isn't always won by the guy with the most power. The guys with the brains. The guys with the brains. Ranger, I was the biggest fan of Canelo. I want a fight to give him trouble now. Well, I see what you're saying. Like, dang, man, you're just running through these people. Okay, can I see you suffer a little bit? Can I see you, can I see what you can do in the middle of a storm? I can kind of see this comment, and it's not hating before before other people jump on him. It's not hating. What up, D Style? Welcome, brother. It's not hating. I can understand that comment. You get used to seeing your fighter just play in the ring, and then eventually you're like, well, I'll give you the perfect example. If I'm playing FIFA and I'll keep winning, eventually I get bored. But when I find another player online that gives me a challenge, now the game is interesting again. Now I'm putting forth an effort. I want to win. I'm looking for ways to win the match. It's the same thing being a fan of a fighter who just keeps winning. You know what I mean? And just keeps doing what this kid is doing. I can see that comment. Like, damn, can I see you at least wobble? Or maybe, can I see what you can do? Can I see something different? I get it. And you see, a lot of you might say, well, Mayweather never lost. Yeah, but Mayweather had some tough fights. Mayweather has some fights that you were like, oh, is he going to, Mosley, Castillo, Argentinian guy, Maidana. It wasn't just win, like clean sheets. It was, he had some fights that you saw Mayweather weathered storms, is what I mean. Let's move on to DK. Canelo been out here sparring since 15. I watched a truly great fighter last night. I know Smith's pedigree and think he will bounce back and show more. But Nello showed the meaning of levels of boxing. I'm sorry, you guys have to post something. It's hard for me to read through here. Levels of boxing. Listen, like I said, Canelo started. Watch this real quick. Canelo started fighting as an amateur at the age of 12. He had a short amateur career of 2 years. 2 years. What is going on, D-Style Boxing? And once again, brother, welcome to the table. He turned pro at the age of 15. Okay, my oldest son is 15 right now. I couldn't imagine my son with professional boxing gloves in a ring, fighting for, I don't know what they fighting in Mexico. I know here some people fight for $80 around, 100, 120, depending on the promotional company, with very little boxing, amateur boxing experience. I couldn't imagine my son at the age of 15 fighting grown man. It doesn't matter if they were dishwashers, Uber drivers, taxi cab drivers, taco sales. I don't care. A grown man versus a 15-year-old. Canelo, the only time I remember seeing Canelo hurt was against Cotto's brother. After that, and kind of wobble against Mayweather a little bit, but not serious, and kind of like, ugh. After that, I don't remember seeing him wobble or hurt or nothing. It was kind of like, I'm learning. I'm gonna keep climbing. And he wasn't great. And I used to tell you, he ain't great. And y'all used to call me, you're just a hater. Nah, I just see boxing. And I put it in perspective. And I put things at the level that they actually are. I cannot be led by my emotions. Otherwise, I'm going to lie to you guys. And I'm not going to be spewing to get more viewing. That's just not going to happen here. Now you ask me about Canelo. And you can see what I'm telling you, but if you see what I'm telling you and then you go watch the fighter I'm talking about, you'll be like, damn, Ranger's right. This kid is just a beast. So what you need, Benavides has no inside game. Facts. And that's where Canelo thrived last night. Mid-range and inside game. Facts. Welcome. What you need? Welcome. These styles boxing. Gonna need some co-host while G-Funk is out, bro. Would like to have you on the show soon. All you gotta do is hit a brother up on, just DM me on Twitter, you know, and you know me, I'm down, I'm game. We're talking boxing, man. I'm game. Let's do it. You know, we're gonna keep. I texted G Funk today. You just checking on the brother. You know, it's none of my business what he's going through, but it's good to from time to time check on the brother. Hey man, hope you're doing good. Just checking on you. Let me know if I can help you with anything, even though we're like 3,000 miles apart. Still, let me know. But if you need me, then I'm here, my brother. I am here. What you need? Canelo has defense, and he rides and rolls punches, so he never takes the full power of a punch. Facts. And let me tell you something. Remember in my breakdown video, if you go back, because I don't want you to think I'm lying to you, the evidence is there. My breakdown video, I tell you the best thing that ever happened to Canelo Alvarez, the best thing was to be defeated against Floyd Mayweather. Facts. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, Ranger. How in the world can a defeat be good? Because you learn. Because you learn. Now let's go into what he learned. Canelo that night was fighting Mayweather. And Canelo must have said to himself, well, dang, my offense is so awesome. It's so great. But his defense is even better. Well, dang, I'm making money tonight, but he's making a lot more than I am. Well, damn, I have a promoter, but he is his own promoter. You starting to connect the dots here? Now translate to today and tell me what Canelo's doing. Great offense, excellent defense, making the bag. And now he's his own man. Following the connection here? Are you following the connection here? Hey, right. Last night, let's see. The last time we seen Canelo look like he got hurt was against Jose Cotto. Facts. Yeah, that's what yeah. And he was what? 18 years of age? How old? Put it there in the comment section. How old was Canelo when he faced Cotto's brother? I think it was 18. Bingo, that challenge. Pino. Salud, D-Style. All right. Let's see. What up, Guido? See, I'm going to put every comment, guys. I'm not going to hide any of y'all unless y'all being... Well, I know you guys are not disrespectful. You know I keep it PG, and I appreciate the fact that you guys keep it PG, even in the comment section. Because I got my kids watching, my brother-in-law watching. I got a few kids from the gym that might be watching. So I appreciate the fact that as you see me keeping it PG, you guys are going in the same boat and keeping it PG. I appreciate that. Let's see it. Star power and entertainment. A few years ago, you said any of the Charlo can do him. Do you still think that way? Again, if you contextualize what I was saying and bringing it to the time when I was saying it, then you would agree with me. Because a few years ago, meaning 6 or 7 years ago, which was the last time I was in YouTube, Canelo was not as great as he is today. You're going to tell me that Canelo was 6 to 7 years ago as great as he is today? Because if you do, my brother, spews for views, bro. So, no, the question that you're giving me here is, do you still think that way? I do not. Today, I can tell you that Charlo brothers can put up a good fight, but it would take, I don't want to say, let's put it this way. Boxing is a Pandora's box, right? You just never know what you're going to get out. So the only thing I can do is my perspective, I don't want to call it prediction because I ain't no prophet, but what I think could happen in a fight based on the knowledge that I have about the sport, what I can visualize when two fighters go at it. So with that being said, I can only tell you that I think Canelo beats both of the Charlo brothers today. But anything can happen. So, no, man, Your question is, do you still think that way? No, I don't. But then again, this Canelo is not the one that he was when I made that comment. Time flies, people grow, people develop new skills, people get better at what they do. 503, he learned a lot from that fight and wanted to do what Floyd does and I would say he's doing it maybe at an 80% level, because Floyd is in another level when it comes to defense, but I guess he's doing it. Facts. Canelo was 18 or 19 years of age. Yeah, he was a kid when he faced Cotto's brother. He was just a kid. Let's give a little bit of light to my boy Frank Sanchez. What y'all thought about Frank Sanchez? Be honest. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings. We talking boxing here. What you thought? Drop it in that comment section. I'm gonna wait to see what at least 2 or 3 of y'all think of Sanchez. My boy Sanchez last night when against the fighter that is tough, against the fighter that possessed a little bit of power. I think he had like 13 or 14 victories, 11 of them by the way of knockout. You know, against the fighter that had guts, against the fighter that went to put on show, against the fighter that decided to taunt, to see if he can get the brother out of his game. But he failed miserably. Now, I got to tell you this about Sanchez. I wish people would watch boxing without volume, because Brian Kenny, the commentator, they need to strip him of the microphone. They need to take his microphone away, okay? He's just not, he doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to boxing. So let's talk about Sanchez. Last night, Sanchez showed that, yes, he's in the right path, but he's not ready to go up against a top 5, maybe a top 10, not a top 5. Sanchez showed last night that maybe he can go up against a Pulev. He's ready for a Pulev. You know, that maybe he's ready for a Dubois. If he goes past Dubois, maybe he's ready for a Joe Joyce. Because don't go to sleep on Joe Joyce just because he looks slow and he's only got 12 fights or 13 fights and 12 knockouts and undefeated. He's going to be a good thing to talk about, trust me. Sanchez showed that he's got 4 or 5 fights before he can pass all of those 4 or 5 tests with flying colors before we can say, yeah, he's ready. He's ready to go against top 5. Let's see. Guido Pion says here, I like Frank Sanchez. I thought he was impressive. It was impressive. The whole world sitting there knocking out dude, went to them ropes like gum. When you make a bubble, it goes through your teeth and everything. That boy squeezed through them ropes. Squeeze through them ropes. What you need, says here, Frank Sanchez don't got the biggest pop, but he got the stoppage. I think they want him up against Michael Hunter, but I don't know. It might happen. Here's the one thing I have noticed about Sanchez. Maybe this is because he's under Eddie Reynoso, which, by the way, last night I saw a lot of people on Twitter talking about, well, why isn't why isn't Reynoso in the corner with him? You have to understand, as a trainer on a card like last night, when you have Canelo, your fighter has to realize that priority last night was Canelo. And you have to start preparing your fighter throughout the entire camp with that right-hand man that went up there with Sanchez. And so the reason Reynoso was not there is because Reynoso was with the priority, Canelo. But Frank Sanchez was there with the guy that was probably working with them throughout the entire throughout the entire camp. Sometimes it's not the most ideal thing, but it happens in boxing all the time under the circumstances in which they were last night. So here's what I say about Frank Sanchez. Frank Sanchez has very good boxing skills, very good leg movement in the ring. But now you see Frank Sanchez sitting down in his punches a little more. And the reason he's sitting down is because exactly he's with Eddie Reynoso. They want to bring a little more pop out of him. That's what they want to do, and that's fine. My only worry is when he goes against a guy like Andy Ruiz. They can sit flat in front of you and throw combinations. You're going to need those legs that you are abandoning. You're going to need that flawless upper body movement to be able to get away from hooks coming to your head. Nopal Boxellano, what's up, my friend? The creator of the hashtag legacy list. Hey, if I come up with some merge and I sell some, I'm giving you a little cut, homie. That's, like I said, that's you. That's your creation right there. Thank you for being here, brother. So Frank Sanchez has a future in boxing. Frank Sanchez could potentially, we never know. Boxing is so crazy. You never know. You know, Reynoso said that's going to be the first heavyweight champion, but we just have to wait. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take it a step at a time. Okay, let's take it a step at a time and enjoy the ride, because the kid is showing some good signs here. Okay, let's enjoy the ride, because the heavyweight division is, for the past 2 years, one of the most exciting divisions in the sport of boxing as we speak. I mean, in 2020 alone, we've seen Tyson Fury absolutely dismantle Wilder. As a consequence of that, we've seen a develop of a plague throughout the YouTube community. It's called the Excuse Nation, the LDBC Nation, where they come up with all sorts of theories without knowledge of firsthand knowledge of boxing, where they tell you that a professional hand wrap is not supposed to show the palms. And I can tell you, sitting here, they don't know what they're talking about. Right? 2020 heavyweights have given us fights and excitements that we have been wanting to see from lower weight divisions. And now, King Kong Ortiz tells Dillian White, I accept your challenge. I'm ready for January or February. Let's hold on that. Let's not talk about that tonight. Let's wait a few more days to see what happens. But if that fight happens, the heavyweight still going to be delivering what we want to see at the lower weight divisions. At the lower weight divisions. Let's see here. Oh yeah, you guys are just saluting each other. That's fine. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. That is what we're here for. Listen, guys, at the end of the day, let's stop the BS about Canelo's running away from Charlos. Let's stop the BS about Canelo's running away from Benavidez. Because let's remember, it was Benavidez that lost the belt at the scales. And yes, you have to wonder, why is it that Canelo was not interested in that belt when Benavidez had it? But the minute Benavidez lost it, he's coming back for it. The answers we may never know, and we can only speculate. We can only speculate, because then you get the haters say, well, that's because he's scared of Benavidez. And next thing you know, he's fighting Benavidez and he might stop Benavidez. And now you, as a hater, you once again, you find yourself in that cricket state of mind. That cricket state of mind of silence. Wondering, looking at the stars. What excuse can I come up with? You know, what excuse can I come up with? So it's time to start changing the YouTube boxing community. It's time we stop speculating things that we have no knowledge of, and let's just didactically analyze the sport, contextualize that sometimes a fight is not taking place is because the fighters don't want to fight. Sometimes it might be the promotional companies. Good night, everyone. And Raw Boxing TV, great live stream. Hey, thanks for stopping by, brother. Don't forget tomorrow to stop by, man. Don't forget Hawker Mustang. I think I remember a name like this one. Hawker Mustang. It's been a while. I don't know. Thank you, Jamil Matos. Just by the name, people are going to know you're my son. Thanks for the support. Hawker Mustang. I'm gonna keep on going, but your name sounds very, very familiar. Very familiar. Like I said, guys, some of these fights are not happening because promotional things. It's not always going to be because the fighters don't want to fight each other. So it's always good to keep that in mind. Yes, we want to see Canelo with the Charlo brothers. Who wouldn't want to see that fight? Who wouldn't? Who truly calls himself a true boxing fan does not want to see a fight like that? Of course, we want to see Canelo with Benavides. Of course, we want to see Canelo with Plant. I don't want to see Canelo with Berlanga. Right now they're just cloud chasing. Like last night, Berlanga posted a tweet. I think it was. That said, "I knock Canelo out. I'm ready to strip him of those." Nah, he just, that's just no, for real. I'm not trying to see no Berlanga just yet. I like the fighter, giving us some exciting knockouts, but we just haven't seen enough to truly see what he's got. So we just have to take it easy with him, and we just need to see what happens. Hawker Mustang, Raw Boxing TV. This is my backup channel. I thought you were gonna unblock my main channel, dude. I don't. Oh, you're the guy that told me why I blocked your main channel. I don't remember blocking you, bro. And if I blocked you, it must have been almost a decade ago, because I have not been in the YGBC for years and years and years. Okay, so post the name of your main channel and I'll look for it and possibly unblock you. Or just go to your main channel, grab the link in the search bar on top, post it here, or go to Twitter at rawboxingtv or at rawboxingtv and just tag me and paste your main channel's link so that I can go into it and see if I can unblock it. I honestly don't remember, brother. But if I unblocked you, it must have been for something. You must have been disrespectful in some way, because I'm the type of guy that feeds off of the people that like me and the people that hate on me. But what I do not take is any level of name calling or disrespect. Now, I'm not saying that's what you did. I probably even blocked you by mistake with intent to blocking somebody else. Who knows? But I don't remember. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. But go follow me on Twitter at Raw Boxing TV in Twitter, and just tag me with your channel and I'll try to unblock you, and we'll start from fresh. How's that? How about we start from fresh, brother? Sounds like a good idea to you? A-Rod. Canelo got offered that belt after he challenged Smith. He didn't go after it. They should hate on, let's see. They shouldn't hate on Canelo for everyone wanting his money. Boxers and sanctions. The sanctioning bodies are leeches. They'll create a belt out of thin air, just as long as you can have it, so I can charge you off of it, so I can collect some out of it. Hawker Mustang, I don't know why you blocked me either. Don't forget. Oh, you don't have a Twitter. Ugh. Well, the only thing I can tell you is go get that link, drop it here in the comment section, and I can probably click it and go to it once I'm done with the live tonight. But other than that, brother, I just I don't have an answer for you, because right now you're forcing me to go back 6-7 years in my brain, and my brain's so full of spider webs and dust and rust parts and stuff that I can't. I just can't. I just can't. Can you see the link? Let me see. I don't see the link. Just type the name of your main channel. Let's do it that way. Type the name of your main channel. And when I'm done here, I'll go and I'll try to unblock you. Let's do it that way. I don't see the link. Maybe it's because, in fact, you are blocked. But again, if you are blocked, You must have done something, homie. Or I must have made, I probably made a mistake. Let's just put it that way. Again, let's just start from fresh. Let's do it like that. Let's start from fresh. Tomorrow, guys, for those that are here, if you're here, you have not hit that thumbs up, hit that thumbs up, guys. That is the way you're going to help this channel. Once we're done tonight, if you can do me the favor, just grab the link to this live, share it in your social media outlets. Tomorrow's show is going to be very interesting because we're going to have the members of the shoe shine join me, not just one, but both of them. All three of us, we're going to get together and just speak some boxing, you know? And I'll probably try to get a few other guys, but I do know that they got their own thing going on tomorrow, so it's not a for sure. Right now, what it's for sure is that the Raw Boxing TV tomorrow at night, 7:30 Eastern time to 8 o'clock. I'm not sure yet. Just be on the lookout tomorrow for the schedule live. In collaboration with the Shoe Shine, we're going to simultaneously be live streaming to both identities, to both entities, and we're going to give you guys an excellent show. We're going to talk about the fight with Canelo all over again. We're going to talk about potential fights more in detail, more in depth. We're going to break down what we saw of that fight. We're going to break down what we saw of last night's cards. We're going to break down what we think we want out of the future on these fighters. We're going to go into the potential fight between Luis King Kong Ortiz and Dillian White. We're going to go through all of that. You don't want to miss tomorrow's. I'm going to schedule that live tomorrow very early in the morning, before 10 o'clock in the morning. And so I'm hoping that when you see that, you start sharing that. The Texan, welcome. Late, but nevertheless here. And you always have the opportunity to rewind and look at the whole. We've had a pretty good show so far, let me tell you. We've had a pretty interesting show so far. I'm surprised that I've been able to carry a conversation without spilling the beans, because I'm trying to reserve everything I want to talk about for tomorrow's nights when we have the guys. So let's see what you got to say here. Got to respect the work you're putting in. Salute. I enjoy Ismael Sala's interview. Came from D-Style and G-Funks. Hey, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the compliment. We working, man. We're grinding. All I'm trying to do here, like I said in their channel, is be honest with you guys. I'd rather go to bed with 14 subscribers and knowing that I was honest to you guys than to go to bed knowing that I first had to lie to myself to then lie to you guys to be able to get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, because I don't need YouTube to make that cheddar. I already make the cheddar. YouTube is my outlet. YouTube is my psychologist, my therapy when it comes to boxing. So I'm glad you're here. If you haven't subscribed, hey, it's free. I don't charge for subscriptions. You know, when you subscribe, activate the notification bell and choose the option all. Let's see, Hawker Mustang. This is the name, Hawker Mustang, just like that. So Hawker Mustang together, no space. I'm going to try to unblock you whenever I'm done. But if it doesn't work, man, I guess you're just gonna have to keep coming back if you want, of course. You know, I'm not forcing nobody to be my subscriber through this channel, but I'm gonna try. Okay. Let's see. You still mad at Precise? Who is Precise? Is that the Polish kid Zimmerman that went to Chile? Precise Puncher? I was never mad at Precise Puncher, was I? If I was, post it on the comment and refresh my memory, and I'll tell you. Let's see, Hawker Mustang. Of course, it was fixed. He once again looking good, and their favorite rider still number one people. Okay. Also, that's directed at Hawker Mustang. Hawker, Precise Puncher is the only Precise that I remember. And if I was mad at him, you're gonna have to remind me, because again, you're telling me to go back in you're telling me to go back in the days, and that's not good. I don't have let's see, Men take bubble baths. Men take bubble baths. Doesn't ring a bell. Is that the act? Do they have it right now? Do they have a channel like that? Because I can go look up the channel. Is that the name of the channel? Men take bubble baths? I don't know. I don't know. Listen, when I decided to leave 6 or 7 years ago, when I decided to, or maybe 5, when I decided to go away from YouTube, it was to decompress from the BS. It was because I found myself refinding. How do I put this? I found myself looking for that spiritual guidance again. I found myself wanting to go back to God again. And I didn't feel like I needed to deal with the things that were going on in YouTube. So I said, I need to step away. I didn't like the business aspect of the sport. It took years for me to realize that it's never going to go away. So my love for the sport itself was so big that I was affected by the business aspect of it. And once I saw that, I said, I don't need this. But that was a long ago. And now you're bringing this to me. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm sorry. I don't. Why were you off YouTube for so long? Yeah, I just answered that. I guess that the comments are a bit delayed or whatever. Fight film is Precise Puncher at the MTBB. So Men Take Bubble Baths and Precise Puncher, same dude. I don't remember being mad at him, but I might have been. I know that we had spoken a few times through video before he moved to Chile. But as far as like why was I mad at him? I don't know. This is a new and improved Ranger. I don't hold grudges. I went away from YouTube for a reason. I don't hold grudges. I try to look at things from other people's eyes now. Again, you are welcome to disagree with me in every single word I say. But what I'll never, ever put up with is name calling or disrespect. So if anybody that has gotten into it with me in the past, that's who I was. And that's why I had to step away. The Texan, for sure. I was listening to the last 20 minutes, just driving and getting some food. Okay. Hey, man, at least you're here, man. Appreciate you. I'm getting ready to close here in the next 10 minutes, guys. You guys have given me an excellent night tonight. You've allowed me to decompress a lot of the things I wanted to say. Hawker Mustang, Canelo has hit the haters for sure. Oh, directed at A-Rod. Oh, of course. Of course. That's not even like a question. Like I said, last night, Canelo had the haters feeling small. So in order to grow their confidence a little bit, they needed that magical portion that makes babies grow.
He needs some milk.
And what kind of milk?
Breast milk.
That's the one. That's the one. Hawker Mustang. Let me see what you got to say, brother. Raw boxing to be cool, bro. Unblock me then. Maybe I trolled you. I don't remember though. And if you did, I don't mind being trolled, but I'm not gonna take no name calling or disrespect. I'll look for your channel. We'll start from fresh. And don't miss tomorrow's night's live. I really thank you for spending this little time that we have spent here today together. It's been a wonderful experience tonight. Tomorrow is going to be even better. Nopal Bosellano. Raw is a solid dude. I've spoken to Hawker Mustang in private, and he got caught in some YouTube beef back in the days. I got to tell you something, Nopal Bosellano. As of now, there's only 2 guys that have made a video that I know of about me. And if you go to the comment section in those videos, I can tell you they regretted it. Because what they failed to realize is that there are people that didn't even follow me but had boxing knowledge. And when they started hearing the spewing for the viewing that they were coming up with, they came to my defense without even being my followers, just from the boxing aspect of it. Like, dude, you have no knowledge in boxing. So I don't ever pay attention to whoever makes videos about me on YouTube. The links were sent to me. Hey, dude, you realize who was making a video about you? Look, listen to it. And I went in there and I was just like, giggles. Oh, look at him. He's having fun. Napal Boxellanos is BDA, still black. DK9. A lot of people was mad at you, Ranger, for your Rigo pick over Donito Donaire. But again, that is fine. You could be mad at me, but I can't lie to you. It hurts me to say that back in the day, me and Dante's Boxing Nation, when Dante actually made the choice of speaking boxing and not so much of what he's speaking about today, we told you for over a year and 3 months, guys, Nonito is good, but Rigo is just better. That the only way you can defeat Rigo is by allowing time to go by, to politically destroy him. And that's exactly what happened. Time went by, they threw a bait, made him move up, put him up against a guy that was almost as good as him, younger, more natural at that weight, and completely dismantle him. But you thought it was over? Look at what Rigo is today. Back to 118, still a world champ. Old, not much left. Not the same Rigo, but still a world champ. Politics. The politics in the sport. Donaire was good. I like Donaire. Okay, so first of all, again, as a boxing fan, how are you not going to like Donaire? Humble kid. Devastating knockouts. Pretty decent boxing skills. It's just he was trying to go up against a much better man. He had a tenacious following that proceeded to call Rigo monkey, going into race. And no, we're not going to do that. Because at that point, I don't even care if you're Cuban or not. If you're African, if you're Black American, if I see somebody coming to my channel calling you monkey, I'm going after them with razor blades and lemon juice, homie. I'm going to cut them and squeeze some of that lime juice on the wound so he could burn. Donaire caught COVID-19 right now today. Oh, well, our prayers with him. Yeah, our prayers with him. We've been losing some people in my church and stuff. Unfortunately, this disease grabs people with bad immune system with secondary illnesses and just has the potential of wiping them. DK9, you called it on the spot. I know I did. That's not being cocky. That's just a fact. I mean, because styles make fight. And when you saw the style of Rigondo, the young Rigondo, the speed, the reflex, the sharpness, and then you saw Nonito Donaire that was more used to fighting and being extremely effective against the more stationary fighter, it was obvious that the fight was not going to be how people thought it was going to be. But, I took a lot of heat for that fight. I took a lot of heat for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. I took a lot of heat for anything related to Pacquiao or Filipino Flash Nonito Donaire. And when I take heat, I light the flamethrower and give a little bit of heat back. So, once again, guys, now I'm going to stop because the brother got to go to sleep. And I got to get up tomorrow at 6 a.m. I want to thank you for being here with me. And this is why I don't ever pull out of the fight. Hawker Mustang, save the energy for tomorrow, brother. I'm going to try to unblock you tonight. If it doesn't work, tell me tomorrow during the live. And I will try it again tomorrow. But as of now, that's the only thing I can promise you. That's it for now, guys. Subscribe, activate the notification bell. Once you're done, copy the link of this live, Share it in your social media. Raw Boxing TV. We are out. We are out, guys. So I'm just going to spend a few minutes here reading these comments that are late. They're going to come in late.
Ladies and gentlemen, live from the Raw Boxing TV studio, your host, Ranger Matos.
I'm just trying to keep it raw on the mic, you know? You need to realize when I'm on the mic, I'll float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, like the great Muhammad Ali. I mean, you need to realize I'm going to talk to you the way I want to talk to you. Facts over feelings, homie.
Peace, people. Much appreciate you. Raw